The big questions of 2024 are as follows. Who's going to be on Epstein's list? Is the Earth finally going to blow up? And will the NRL in Vegas be a success? Unfortunately for you, ladies and gentlemen, we aren't talking about the first two, but we are talking about the latter, because we need to finally talk about the NRL's plan to go to Las Vegas, because it's happening sooner than you think. We are just under 40 days until kickoff of the 2024 NRL season, and 4 lucky teams are going to experience some of the best casinos in the world and play a bit of rugby league at Allegiant Stadium right after the Super Bowl. So ladies and gentlemen, let's break this down. As always, smash that like button if you do enjoy the video. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the best footy content coming your way in 2024, and leave a comment down below whether you agree with me or disagree with me. But let's be honest, you're only going to agree with me. Now, if I'm being honest, originally this video was going to be a whole breakdown into what could work, what couldn't work, and then at the end I was just going to give my opinion. But when I was trying to do this, I came to the realization is that the NRL can't really lose. Now, the only way they can lose is if there's off-field scandal, and it is rugby league players, so I'm not going to put it past them. But unless there's some ridiculous thing that happens off the field and some of the players can't come back, the NRL cannot lose by taking it to Las Vegas. They're only really going to upset a few of the older diehard fans who don't agree with the NRL taking games away from their stadiums. But you've been doing that with a while, and let's be honest, Vegas is a bit of an upgrade from Mount Druitt. But Las Vegas, Nevada, I should say, the Nevada state, they are paying for this. They have been trying to get their balls deep into every single sporting market as of late. Obviously, they're real dominant in combat sports. They've just paid a bunch of money to get the F1 over, and I think they would have jumped at the opportunity to get an NRL match. Now, I do think that the NRL, there are better markets that they can focus on to grow the game. I think mainly going to Europe. I think getting the rugby fans over and just showing them, because rugby has absolutely exploded in Europe. Obviously, the new Six Nations documentary is going to drop on Netflix, but we've seen, especially this century, the rise of Ireland, France, even Scotland and Wales. All those teams are becoming more competitive in world rugby. So I think that's the number one location we have to take rugby league. Obviously, that's a story for a different video. So I do think there were better choices than Las Vegas, but I still think this is a massive win for the NRL. Because at the very least, even if we can only get 30,000 fans in the stadium, which I think will not happen because there's already been more tickets than that sold, but at the very least, people in America are talking about it. It was on the NFL broadcast on Fox. People know what the NRL is now, and they know that rugby or rugby league is coming to Las Vegas. It's going to America. So now, at the very least, when people will hear about the NRL or hear about rugby league, they'll be able to go, oh yeah, I remember that. And again, at the very least, every single person in Australia is talking about this right now. We've got AFL people talking about it. Even people who don't want a bar of rugby league are talking about the NRL Australia sport going to one of the biggest markets in the world. Not just America, but Las Vegas is the party town. The Hangover movie, it proved that Vegas is the number one destination to go have fun and get off your head. That's also why it was great as a choice, I guess, to get the Australians over, because there's heaps to do in Vegas than just, well, rugby league. And I guess the rugby league's demographic, it'll be Magic Round on crack. But back to that attendance point, while it would be embarrassing if it's only a third field, if it's half field or even more field, I do think it might get you, 2/3 field. I don't think they'll be able to sell out 80,000 tickets in Las Vegas unless they just give them out for free on the day, which I think, being Vegas, is very, very high possibility. But even let's say it's only half field or 3/4 field, that's still good for the NRL. Attendance in the NRL is a huge problem. That is for an entirely different video. But even if it's half field, that's still a good look for the NRL. That's still going to be 40,000 people. That'll be the most of any regular season game other than Magic Round. This event, which it is an event, makes the NRL global. It makes it an international sporting competition. I know it sort of already is because we've got a New Zealand team, but everyone knows about this now. People in Vegas know about it. Everyone who watched that NFL game on Fox, so 20 million people now know about it. This is huge. Everyone in Australia is talking about it, and you're going to bet that everyone's going to tune in at least for a second. Maybe the average viewership won't be so high, but the highest point near kickoff is going to break all sorts of records, both on Fox and especially Channel 9. I mean, we all know how big this is. The AFL had embarrassed themselves with this whole split round thing because they tried to do something to rival Vegas, and all they've done is piss off every hardcore AFL fan by taking the game away from its home, by not respecting Victoria, by trying to capitalise on New South Wales and Queensland. But that might work, and I'm sure they'll get good crowds in both New South Wales and Queensland, but they'll be from AFL fans anyway. They could have just waited and done it in round one when the NRL had less amount of games anyway and had the biggest Queensland market out and the biggest New South Wales markets out anyway. They should have just all kept it as one round. But let's be honest here, ladies and gentlemen, the main reason NRL is taking the game to Las Vegas is that they want a bit of that Vegas gambling money. And I cannot blame them. Betting, especially for Australian sport, is huge. I mean, you watch a betting ad, 50 times during a halftime ad, during a break and play ad, between Bet365, Sportsbet, Neds, Bluebet, every single one of them, I can recite their ads word for word. There's no secret that gambling is the main funder of Australian sports right now, and if the NRL can go to Vegas, get in that Vegas betting market, that's the sort of thing that makes the NRL break as $1 billion sport. By getting into that betting market, this has the opportunity to make the NRL huge in America, because it's in the off season to the NFL, to the NBA. Besides baseball, there's no other sport going on when the NRL's going on. So you know those boys over there who like a punt are going to be betting on the NRL, especially if Vegas is a huge success. Because everyone in America is still going to be tuning into this, especially the diehard. Obviously, there's a few rugby fans over there, but everyone, even the guys in Europe, they're going to want to see where this happens because this is a huge event. And like I said, if the NRL do get into that betting market, even if it's not by much, they can pretty much double their revenue. America's population is 300 million. Australia's is 20. So even if you only get 10% of Americans betting on the NRL, that's still nearly the same as an entire country here in Australia. And obviously Australia's only run in New South Wales and Queensland mainly. So this event has the potential to send the NRL into the stratosphere. And like I said at the beginning, there's really no loss. Nevada is paying for it. Maybe the NRL's paying for the advertising and the marketing, but they've got sponsors there. So it looks like the NRL cannot take a massive loss on this. But the financial gain they can get, and just the gain that talks to the general public, this is a huge success. And people from not just America, but from Europe, from Australia, that don't watch footy, if they go in, chuck it on and enjoy it, then maybe they'll tune in the following week. All they need is 10%. If 10% of the people watch this stick around, then that's still a huge boost for the NRL. It's already the number one watched game sport in Australia. It beats the AFL, and that's why I do think attendance and membership is the big problem for the NRL. But I guess we can just strengthen our strengths for the moment. But I think the NRL in Vegas is a huge success, and while I disagree with a little bits of it, there's no big loss here, and it's going to be an unbelievable event. I hope it's a success because I want to go next year when I can actually bloody walk. But ladies and gentlemen, let me know in the comment section down below. What do you think about the NRL going to Las Vegas? Smash that like button if you enjoyed the video, guys. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the best footy content coming your way in 2024. And I'll see you in the next one.